Hi everyone, today we are going to be talking about lesson 86, dividing with reciprocals. So last week we talked about reciprocals, which is when we take a number, for example, 1/2, and we turn it over and we get the number 2/1. We take the numerator and it becomes the denominator, and the denominator becomes the numerator. So 2/1 is my reciprocal. Okay, so we're going to take that and we're going to look at this first problem. Divide 2/3 or 2/3 divided by 1/2. Okay, so what does this mean? This is actually asking me how many halves are there in 2/3. If I was to draw a picture and I divide my circle into 2/3, it wants to know how many half circles are there in 2/3. Okay, so the picture is a little confusing, so let's talk about how we actually solve this problem. Okay, so to do this, we actually need to use a reciprocal. So step 1 is to write your original problem like I did up here. Step 2 is to write the first fraction, 2/3. Oh, sorry. Let's see if I can actually erase that. Oh, let's just cross it out. 2/3, there we go. And then I'm going to take my second fraction that I'm dividing by and I'm going to find the reciprocal. So I'm going to turn it over, and now instead of dividing, I'm going to multiply. And then I multiply straight across just like I do in a normal division or multiplication of fractions problem. 2 times 2 equals 4. 3 times 1 equals 3. So my answer is 4/3, which I simplify to 1 and 1/3. There are 1 and 1/3 halves in 2/3. So there's a whole half right here. This is all a half. And then there's 1/3 of my second half over here in my entire 2/3 of my circle. Okay? Now, if the drawing is confusing you, just look at the example right here. Okay? And let's move on to example number 2. Okay, example 2. 2 divided by 2/3. So in this problem, we need to start with our original problem. 2 divided by 2/3. However, I know that this 2 is the whole number 2, and I need to turn it into a fraction. So it becomes my fraction 2/1. Any number over 1 is a whole number. Now, I need to take my second fraction, 2/3, and turn it over into its reciprocal, which is 3/2. Now, instead of dividing, I multiply. Numerators, 2 times 3 equals 6. Denominators, 1 times 2 equals 2. And this simplifies. 6 divided by 2 equals my whole number, 3. Okay, so what does this mean? How many 2/3 are there in 2 wholes? Well, let's draw a picture just to verify. So here I have circle number 1, circle number 2. I'm going to divide it into thirds. Okay, each one is being divided into thirds. Now, but I want to know how many 2/3. So here is my first 2/3. Over here is my second 2/3, and these make together 1/3 and 1/3 make my third 2/3. So here's number 1, here's number 2, and these two together make number 3. So 2 divided by 2/3 equals 3. All right, let's go on to example 3. Okay, 2 parts, A and B. Solve each word problem, then name the operation you used to solve the problem and explain why you chose it. So it's going to want to know if we're going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So let's look just at A. 1/2 of an 8-foot length of ribbon is to be used for an art project. What length of ribbon will be used for the project? So I know that my total length will be of my ribbon is 8 feet. But I only want half of that. Okay, so in order to find out what I'm going to use, I'm actually going to multiply. Okay, 1/2 stays 1/2, but the 8 becomes 8 over 1 because it is a whole number. I multiply my numerators. 1 times 8 equals 8. Denominators, 2 times 1 equals 2. And 8 over 2 equals 4. So a total of 4 feet of ribbon will be used. Now, how did I know to multiply? I knew that I was going to multiply because I wanted to make my ribbon shorter. I only wanted half of it. Okay? And I knew if I divided, I would have to find the reciprocal of this, and that would actually make my ribbon longer than I have to start with. So this time I multiplied. Okay, let's look at problem B. How many lengths of ribbon, each 1/2 foot long, can be cut from an 8-foot length of ribbon? So I want to know how many 1/2-foot ribbons are there. Okay, so this time I want 8 feet divided, because I'm cutting that ribbon in half, divided by 1/2-foot lengths. Okay, each piece is going to be 1/2 foot long, and I want to know how many ribbons that will get me. So I'm going to take my fraction, my whole number, turn it to a fraction, take my half and find its reciprocal, multiply, because whenever I divide a fraction, I find the reciprocal and multiply. And then 8 times 2 equals 16. 1 times 1 equals 1. So I get 16 ribbons from 8 feet. Okay? If I was to take a ruler and draw this out, so here's my ribbon. Okay, it's 8 feet long. And I was going to split it into 6-inch sections. Okay, well, here are my 8 feet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, pretend those are equal. Okay, now those are each 1 foot, but I want 1/2 foot ribbons, so I'm going to cut them again. I am dividing them into smaller pieces. And so you can see that I am dividing. So if you count them now, there will be 16 different ribbons. Okay? All right, go ahead and do your lesson practice, and we will review this tomorrow. Good luck.